We start with the story of the ongoing conflict in West Asia. A day after Iran's attack on Israel, IDF said that Iran launched 181 ballistic missiles towards Israel effectively, and it's unacceptable reality. It further said that there will be consequences and the IDF will receive its instructions from the government. Iranian president in the meeting of the government board said that Iron Dome is more fragile than glass. He warned that if they make a mistake again, the next response will be much more crushing. Earlier, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said Iran had made a big mistake and will pay as fears grow of a wider all-out war between the two regional military powerhouses. Meanwhile, UNSC held meeting on Iranian missile attack on Israel. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres said civilians are paying a terrible price of this war, and this deadly cycle of tit-for-tat violence must stop. US President Joe Biden joined a call with G7. Biden and the G7 unequivocally condemned Iran's attack against Israel.
The war in West Asia now is at a critical juncture. We're joined by a very special guest, Reuven Azar, the Israeli envoy to New Delhi. Thank you very much, sir, for being with us.
Thank you, Vishnu.
It does seem that despite the intensity of the attacks by Iran last night, they were calibrated in the sense that populated areas of Tel Aviv were not struck, fortunately. Does that imply that Israel's response, when it does come, will also be calibrated?
I wouldn't imply that, Vishnu, and that's the result of the attack. By the way, it wasn't just a barrage of missiles; it's a barrage of 181 ballistic missiles, with each one with a payload between 700 to 1,000 kilograms that is capable of destroying an entire building. Okay, this is unprecedented in the history of warfare. Fortunately, because of the fact that we have the best defense system in the world, we have managed to thwart it, and the only missiles that have actually hit were the ones that hit in open areas,
right,
because usually we do not target those, okay? So this is a very serious situation, and this is not the first time this is coming from Iran. Now, the Iranians, well, actually, it's not the Iranian people. We don't have nothing
right
against them. It's this regime, this radical regime, has been trying every possible way to destroy the state of Israel. They have stated publicly that they want to destroy the state of Israel. They've been financing for the last 30 years all these terrorist groups with billions and billions of dollars on the account of their own, taking this money from their own people. Mm-hmm. And they are failing. We are determined to defend ourselves. We are not going to allow this regime to threaten the state of Israel.
Ambassador, what was the damage last night?
Well, I'm just quoting the spokesperson of the IDF. The IDF doesn't give wrong information.
Right.
The right information is that, fortunately, we haven't seen damage out of this barrage because we have defended ourselves against it. Unfortunately, there was a tragic loss of life of a Palestinian from a Gaza origin that has been hit by a missile in the Jericho area, and he lost his life, unfortunately. He was murdered by this missile. Besides that, we didn't see any major damage caused.
The war in West Asia now is at a critical juncture. We're joined by a very special guest, Reuven Azar, the Israeli envoy to New Delhi. Thank you very much, sir.
Israeli military IDF has said 8 Israeli soldiers have been killed in fighting with Hezbollah inside Lebanon. Israeli forces and Iran-backed Hezbollah fighters have engaged in fighting on the ground in southern Lebanon. Earlier, Israeli military had announced the death of a 22-year-old commander inside Lebanon. Moving on to some political news now, Congress has raised concerns over an old case involving BJP leader and leader of the opposition R. Ashok. The case relates to a land that Ashok had purchased through a third party, which was later discovered to be owned by Bangalore Development Authority. The land came under scrutiny when a retired wing commander, G.B. Athri, filed a case in court. During the investigation, it was revealed that the land was indeed owned by BDA. Following this discovery, R. Ashok returned the land to BDA. Now, Congress is questioning the current situation, stating that if R. Ashok returned the land upon facing a similar issue and the Chief Minister's wife did the same, how can they criticize the CM's wife for returning her property? The court had previously ruled that since the land had already been returned to the BDA, there was no need for a criminal investigation. Congress intends to move forward using this case as a reference point.
Sir, also,
Sir, there are two things you mentioned. One is actually denotified land, which is from BDA, which is property of the BDA. Other side, the gifted land to the Siramayas family. How the similarities look?
No, it is not similar. See, there is a land which is given by 14 sites were given as a compensation. Here it is not the case. Here you have purchased a BDA land which is already acquired from somebody who we don't know.
You're also saying
Ramaswamy, who is nobody, he submits a requisition to the Honorable Chief Minister, then Honorable Chief Minister Yediyurappa, for denotification. How can it happen? Tell me.
The BRS party working president K.T. Rama Rao has sent a legal notice to Telangana Minister Konda Sureka demanding retraction of her statements, alleging that KTR was responsible for actor Samantha and Naga Chaitanya's split. He also sought a public apology within 24 hours from Sureka. Samantha has also issued a statement saying that her name should be kept out of politics.
So this ugly spat broken out, there is a precursor to this that Konda Sureka was alleging that certain comments made on X with regard to a photograph of hers along with a BJP leader at a public function had invited some kind of comments which seemed to suggest innuendo, and subsequently Konda Sureka, made these comments publicly alleging that the divorce of Naga Chaitanya and Samantha Ruth Prabhu had happened because of K.T. Rama Rao. She also linked him to drug abuse, and she kind of generalized it, saying that he was making these actresses get addicted to drugs and then forcing them into these kind of situations. But obviously, K.T. Rama Rao and his party have reacted angrily. K.T. Rama Rao now slapping the legal notice on Konda Sureka, not just Nagarjuna, who is father of Naga Chaitanya, but also Samantha herself has reacted, and Amala Kineni has reacted, and Harish, who is the brother-in-law of, who is the cousin of K.T. Rama Rao and also a former minister, he has also demanded an unconditional apology from Konda Sureka, who has, of course, done this without, should I say, if any of these parties involved, whether K.T. Rama Rao, Naga Chaitanya or Samantha Ruth Prabhu, have not spoken anything on this issue, and she has come and spoken about this, and therefore this has created quite a bit of a shock in the circles, and all of them now demanding that Konda Sureka now needs to apologize. The Congress party per se has not come out with any statement. I would reckon that they would need their minister to withdraw a statement that she is making without any basis.
Moving on, it has been 10 years of the Swachh Bharat campaign launched by Prime Minister Narendra Modi to create a cleaner India. But on the ground, more needs to change as many of our towns and cities remain filthy, and garbage disposal is a huge challenge. Just outside Madhya Pradesh's capital Bhopal is a 12 lakh ton mountain of garbage. People are suffering as the authorities pass the buck. My colleague Anurag Dwari reports just outside Madhya Pradesh's capital Bhopal.
A 12 lakh ton mountain of garbage just outside Madhya Pradesh's capital Bhopal. In 2018, this landfill site was created to dispose of Bhopal's garbage in a scientific way. 6 years later, this is just a filthy dumping site with almost no scientific disposal of late.
कचरा खंती साहब, एक तो बदबू बहुत जोर से आती है, हवा चलती है तो इसके बाद पानी भी गंदा हो गया, पूरा नाली का नदी का पानी तक गंदा हो गया पूरा। अभी आप देखें, आपको दिखाएंगे, पूरा काला पानी जा रहा है। मक्खियाँ बढ़ गई यहाँ पे। दवाई भी नहीं बताते हैं, दवाई के छिड़काव से कुछ कम हो जाता है, लेकिन वो भी नहीं करते यहाँ पे। हाँ, कुछ लोग ये देख तो रहे हैं, आप ये घर टूट गया, कुछ लोग छोड़ के चले गए, उनको थोड़ी समस्या आ गई इससे। कुछ बीमारी उनकी थोड़ा बहुत पहले थे, तो उनको ज़्यादा इससे कचरे से ज़्यादा समस्या आई, तो चलेगा यहाँ।
The groundwater here has been polluted due to the garbage and poisonous chemicals. This hand pump, for instance, has polluted and dirty water which is unfit for drinking. That's not all. 60-year-old Vimla Devi lives in a village just next to this landfill site. She has a persistent infection in her entire body from rashes to sores.
फोड़ा फुंसी हो गए और ये हाथ पैरों में बहुत ज़्यादा खुजली चलती थी, ये पानी की वजह से हुआ है। हाँ, कई बार आए इंसान, पानी ले लेके गए, देख के गए, पूछ के, कुछ भी नहीं हुआ। 5 साल से हो रही मेरे को दिक्कत, और ऐसे हाथ लोकते थे बहुत ज़्यादा।
This processing unit at the landfill was supposed to produce electricity and fertilizer from the garbage, but has been shut since July 2023. Even when this unit was running, it could only consume only 600 tons of waste per day, whereas about 900 tons of waste is generated from Bhopal city every day.
जो एजेंसी काम कर रही थी, उसकी कुछ शिकायतें थी, उसकी लापरवाही के कारण उसका जो टेंडर था वो निरस्त किया गया है। अभी नगर निगम स्वयं प्रोसेसिंग यूनिट को ऑपरेट कर रही है, और हम इस पर काम कर रहे हैं कि कचरे का ढेर को हम वैज्ञानिक तरीके से पूरा समाप्त कर दें, और मुझे लगता है कि उसमें बहुत जल्द अच्छे रिजल्ट आएंगे।
As the situation worsens, both the environment and the health of people living nearby remains in danger, waiting for a solution that can turn this toxic dumping ground into a truly scientific waste disposal site. In Bhopal, with camera person Rizwan Khan and Akash Dwivedi, Anurag Dwari for NDTV.
Time for a tiny break on the show. More on the other side. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Countdown has begun for 90 assembly seats of Haryana. All top BJP and Congress bigwigs were campaigning in Haryana earlier on Wednesday. Congress chief Mallikarjun Kharge held a rally in Charki Dadri and hit out at BJP for replacing Khattar as CM and appointed Nayab Singh Saini. Priyanka Gandhi also held a rally in Jind and hit out at BJP over farm laws that have been withdrawn now. Addressing a public rally in Kurukshetra, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh slammed Congress. He said that Jawans execute surgical strike and airstrike, while Congress raised questions. It's an interesting battle between veteran BJP leader Santosh Chauhan Sarwan and first-time contender from Congress Pooja Chaudhary from Mullana. My colleague spoke to Santosh Sarwan. Listen in.
वेलकम टू एनडीटीवी। कैसे कैंपेन कैसे चल रहा है, क्या मुद्दे हैं, क्या लगता है कि क्योंकि अगर पिछली बार की बात करें तो आपके पास टिकट नहीं थी, लेकिन 2014 में आप यहां से जीत के भी गए थे, उस टाइम भी आपने काम करवाए थे, तो क्या लग रहा है?
सबसे पहले तो आपके एनडीटीवी के सभी दर्शकों को मेरा सादर नमस्कार। मेरे चुनाव में विकास सबसे बड़ा मुद्दा है। 2014 से 2019 तक मैं एमएलए थी और मैंने 1650 करोड़ रुपया हरियाणा सरकार से लाके मेरे 172 गाँवों का समूचा विकास किया। और एक कस्बा जो सबसे बड़ा था, गांव में था, वो भी पंचायत थी बराड़ा में। मैंने बराड़ा पंचायत को नगर पालिका का दर्जा दिलाया, वहाँ मिनी सेक्रेटेरिएट बनाया, वहाँ हॉस्पिटल बनाया, वहाँ 102 किलोमीटर का मैंने सीवरेज डलवाया और सीवरेज ट्रीटमेंट प्लांट बनवाया। साथ में पूरे 102 किलोमीटर की बहुत अच्छी गलियां बनवाई, नालियां बनवाई, पानी की निकासी का इंतज़ाम किया। बहुत अच्छे 76 गांव में हमने कम्युनिटी सेंटर बनाए और सभी जगह बहुत समूचा विकास किया। धर्मशालाएं, लघु सचिवालय, जिस चीज़ की भी जहाँ ज़रूरत थी मैंने वो सब काम किए। और एक एक गांव में इस वक्त अगर आपके पास समय हो और आप जाके देखेंगे 300 पत्थर, 300 प्लस पत्थर मेरे लगे हुए हैं, विकास पट जिसको हम कहते हैं। कोई नीम पत्थर है, कोई उद्घाटन पत्थर है।
मैम, अगर बात करें तो 2019 के बाद आपको क्या लगता है कि कौन से जो काम है वो नहीं हुए, जो अभी आपको लगता है कि वो आप आओगे तो करवाओगे? और साथ में जो सबसे बड़ी बात है, कांग्रेस अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट और बेरोजगारी के मुद्दे को बार बार उठा रहे हैं, क्या आपने इस हल्के में उस तवज्जो दी थी?
मैं पहले 2019 की बात करना चाहूँगी। 2019 से लेके 2024 तक वरुण मुलाणा हमारे यहाँ से एमएलए रहे और उनको हमारी भारतीय जनता पार्टी की नीति के मुताबिक 15 करोड़ रुपया पर ईयर मिलता रहा पैसा लोगों के विकास के लिए। 75 करोड़ रुपया टोटल मिला और उन्होंने वो 75 करोड़ रुपया टोटल विधानसभा में ही छोड़ दिया, लैप्स करवा दिया। लेकिन एक भी पत्थर, मैं आपके चैनल के माध्यम से चुनौती देना चाहती हूं उनको कि कांग्रेस का कोई भी व्यक्ति पूरे 172 गांव में और पूरे तीनों कस्बों में उनका लगाया हुआ एक ईंट और एक पत्थर अगर कोई फोटो खींच के मुझे भेज देगा मेरे फ़ोन पे तो मैं 1 लाख रुपए इनाम दूंगी। 1 रुपया भी खर्च नहीं किया। हल्के को 10 साल पीछे ले गए वो।
Ireland Embassy in New Delhi has announced a cultural collaboration for Kolkata's iconic Durga Puja festival to celebrate 75 years of diplomatic ties between the two countries. Irish and Indian artists are working together to create a spectacular pandal to honor the Hindu goddess Durga and the Celtic goddess Danu. This collaboration brings together Macinus, a celebrated Irish arts collective from Galway, and Kolkata's renowned Behala Nutan Dal, a cultural organization famous for its innovative Durga Puja celebrations. Here's a special report from Kolkata.
At the Behala Notundal Pujo in Kolkata, this Durga Pujo, a unique collaboration is taking place. The Irish goddess Danu and Bengal's favorite deity Ma Durga in the same premises, and of course this collaboration is a result of the Embassy of Ireland and the Consulate of Ireland in Kolkata. Mr. Jalan joins me now. Sir, thank you so much for speaking to NDTV. This collaboration, tell us a little bit about it. It's very interesting.
You know, it was really interesting because the ambassador, within the first week of joining his office in Delhi, his first visit was to Calcutta during pujas. And while he went through, he was absolutely blown away with the sheer amount of art, culture and magnificent structures that he saw. And then we started ideating, you know, how do we really take our message of our beautiful culture outside India? And one of the ways that we said, like, why don't we collaborate? Why don't we do a puja pandal where the Irish government and the Indian culture comes together? And to the best of my knowledge, it's the first time that we have an embassy collaborating with the puja pandal. You know, there's a language barrier. The Irish artists obviously don't speak Bengali and the Bengali artist doesn't speak English. But through the language of art, how they collaborated and came out with this stunning vision of what they saw is truly amazing.
Joining me now, the Ambassador of Ireland, Mr. Kevin Kelly. Thank you so much, sir, for speaking to NDTV. First of all, what a wonderful cultural collaboration, and truly in the spirit of the festival.
Absolutely, we're so excited about this. I've just flown in this morning and I've been waiting for this moment for the last year. So I am 1 year in India as ambassador, but I came to Calcutta for the Durga Puja last year and my mind was blown by the experience. There's very few places in the world where you'll have millions of people coming out to appreciate public art. So I thought, what a better way than this to celebrate Ireland and India. And this year is a special year because we're marking 75 years of friendship. So we worked with our honorary consul, Mr. Jalan, to create this joint partnership between Bahala Nuttall Dal and the wonderful Indian artist Sanjeev Saha and a very celebrated Irish arts and creative group called Mockness.
Art can break all barriers of distance, and that's something that perhaps this collaboration showcases. Truly celebrating itself also as the world's largest art festival, or the street art festival that comes along every year with the Pujos. With camera person Aniruddha Tripathi at the Behala Notundol Pujo in Kolkata, Saurabh Gupta, NDTV.
Happy festivities to all of you from all of us at NDTV. With that, it's a wrap on the bulletin. Thanks for watching.